But in the meantime, let's bring in Tim Graham. He's the executive editor over at NewsBusters at the Media Research Center, and he joins us now. Hello, Tim.
Hello.
What is going on with MSNBC? Is it possible that this network is done for?
Well, I mean, certainly they're being sort of exiled a little bit. They're putting them out on the island. NBC from the very beginning has always had this sort of tension, the NBC versus MSNBC thing. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes both ways because obviously once MSNBC became this raving Keith Olbermann type of channel, then they were like, NBC's worthless. Chuck Todd and Andrea Mitchell should just go to Fox. So this is just more of the same. But yeah, it's not good. It doesn't suggest that things are going well, and it is sort of fun to hear the anonymous sources panicking.
Well, why would Comcast spin it away into a separate company if they thought it was a successful enterprise that was helping their portfolio?
Right. And I think so. It does seem like we're creating this, we're spinning off this little thing that somebody else could buy. I think it does look like that. I mean, their publicity is all like, no, this is great, it will strengthen it or whatever, but people who are actually looking at these entities are saying, okay, what you're basically doing is you're spinning off the ones that aren't very successful or are disappointing you and basically sort of putting them on the block. And so, yes, if I was working there, I would be concerned. I just find it very weird that they're going to somehow try to change its name to something else. You know, we don't want the NBC piece of it.
Well, it's kind of weird that they're even talking about a name change, because if they were going to change the name of that network, they should have done it back in 2012 when Microsoft ended its relationship with MSNBC. So the whole reason the company is called MSNBC is it was originally Microsoft NBC. Microsoft has no stake in that place, yet the deceit continues. The very name of the network is a lie.
Yeah. Well, now Rachel Maddow can say it stands for Ms. NBC. That might be insensitive. Maybe it needs to be MXNBC.
It's a good line. So I just do wonder, you know, if we're at the point where this may be the very end, you know, because a lot of these media companies you're watching, especially at the newspapers, New York Times, the Washington Post, it seems like with each passing day, there's a lot of layoffs coming for these struggling news companies that don't seem to be actually turning around a revenue because they don't have audiences anymore.
Well, and these people have been paid excessive amounts. So yes, Rachel Maddow getting $30 million a year for Monday night was maybe a little excessive, and apparently they're going to chop her about $5 million a year. We know that Hoda Kotb said, I'm out of here at NBC because they weren't going to pay her $20 million a year anymore. Yes, these are the people that they pay to explain to us the damages, the ravages of inflation, and I'm sure they're feeling it.
Yeah, how is that sustainable? How can Rachel Maddow make, what is it now? I saw some reporting today that she took a $5 million pay cut or something. But even if she's making, $25 million a year, isn't she on TV once a week?
Yeah. But again, it's because she is the favorite of the viewers, I guess. You know, you'll remember this whole thing about, 2016 when Trump won and Ryan Murphy made this thing and people were like, I won't accept the election results until Rachel Maddow tells me they're real.
And also, one of the pieces here apparently is that MSNBC was also worried that Rachel Maddow would go to, I don't know, CNN or something and take all of her viewer with her. That was the big concern. So they had to give her a lot of money to give her this weird, sort of very privileged arrangement.
Yeah, I mean, let's remember, these people always talk about their numbers like they're great, and they do that by completely ignoring the Fox number. So, CNN and MSNBC are basically see themselves in competition with each other. And if CNN beats MSNBC, then they run around saying nobody gets the viewers that we do, which of course would be a lie. But, that is the existence that they know. They're like, well, Fox, this is why they want to say, Fox, that's not a real news channel. That's not news channel ratings. That's propaganda.
Well, I've seen some of the crosstabs, I guess, if you describe them that way, on television ratings. Apparently more Democrats watch Fox News than either of those other two channels. So even in the race for those viewers, they're losing.
See, there's not that many hate watchers of the liberal networks. That's basically going to be about 5 people at NewsBusters.
Yes, you do that so the rest of us don't have to. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to you. What are your long-term projections, or even short-term, about the way the legacy media is going to be? I mean, what's it going to look like a couple years from now? Are they going to still be kicking around?
Yeah, I think so. I think right now they're cratering because lefties are depressed right now. I would expect to some degree when Trump actually is inaugurated, there's going to have to be a little bit of a boost. They're going to start paying attention again. But obviously, yes, the fact that Trump got elected again probably takes some of the fun out of it, the way that all of these media entities, boosted their ratings and their subscriber bases because of it was time to resist Trump, and it was heroic, and it was anti-fascist. And I don't think they can locate that same enthusiasm all over again. And especially when it's like, I'm sorry, we did not elect Hitler. Oh, Joe Scarborough's now already sort of admitting that. So it just doesn't have the same drama.
Yeah, and you'd hope that there's some percentage of the viewers who are waking up to the fact that they were very misled about the circumstances of the country by their favorite networks, because MSNBC in particular had kind of tried to convince everybody that Kamala Harris had all this popularity and energy and all the celebrities supported her, and it's going to be a great new future with her, and Donald Trump's a threat to democracy, and how could any working class person support him? All of those things, it turned out to be inversions of the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's where does the weirdness begin? It's a chicken or egg question, because obviously to some degree the viewers of MSNBC want this alternative universe where Kamala Harris is popular. There was so much of this that I think there was a great amount of insincerity, because I think they knew that she was not a good candidate. I think the whole fact that they tried to hide her from the press and not have her do many interviews shows you that they were all afraid of her. Don't let her speak. I mean, how would they have gotten through 4 years of that? Although I suppose we just went through 4 years of the president of the United States hiding from the pro-Biden networks. As weird as that was, it would have been probably 4 years of more of the same.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad that's not going to happen. Thank goodness. In the meantime, I just want to thank you, Tim Graham, for all of your excellent work and your time today. Thank you for joining us, sir.